Well, I don't want to spoil all the fun, so I'm not going to do all these here, but I will look at maybe these second two, because the first are the first. They're the odd ones. Check the answer in the back of the book, right? So anyway, we're going to go through this process again. The initial value is different in this case. So the initial value, the 2 that I used in the last one was the same initial 2. But that initial value, a sub 1, is the first term in the sequence, or the series. So I have a 4 in this case, times 1 minus the common ratio. Now, what's happening from one to the next is that people will say it's dividing by 2. But in reality, we're multiplying by 1/2. Okay, you need to get that multiplier. It's not the divisor. So we're subtracting that common ratio of 1/2, but I'm raising it to, if I'm doing it the first 8 terms, I'm raising that to the 8th power. That's going to be something right there. And I'm going to put that all over 1 minus the 1/2. Okay, so in this case here, I've got the 4. I'm going to multiply this by, I'm going to see if I can do this all in one shot. 1 minus, and this is going to be kind of crazy, parentheses, 1 divided by 2 raised to the 8th power. Okay, so that's a crazy number. That's a 0.9960935. I'm going to try and go through this without any rounding errors because, just because. And this is 1 minus 1/2, so this is actually divided by 1/2. Okay, so if I take that number on top there, that's the 1 minus the 1/2 to the 8th power. That's a small number, by the way. 1/2 to the 8th power, so we're not taking much away from 1, which is why this number up here is very close to 1. Okay, but we're going to multiply that number by 4. And then we're going to divide that number by 1/2, or 0.5. So that's going to give us a number that's 7.96875. Now, that number is getting very close to, well, a number. Now we'll leave it at that for now. And then we'll go on to this one. This is the first 15 numbers of the original of the series. So the initial value is 3. We're multiplying that by 1 minus the common ratio. What are we multiplying by each time here? Well, this is a -1. It's changing from +3 to -3 to +3. So 1 minus -1 to the 15th power. And that's going to be all over 1 minus the same common ratio of -1. Okay? So we got to keep track of the fact that we're subtracting the common ratio. If the common ratio is -1, we're subtracting a -1, so that really means we're adding 1. So that's a 2. It's a good thing because we can't subtract 1. That'd be 0 in the denominator. -1 to the 15th power is still going to be -1, so this is still going to be -1 plus 1. Okay, so that's a 3 times 2. You're going to cancel that out. That just means it's eventually going to add up to 3. And that might not seem too weird because you start with the 3, then when you take it away, you're at 0. Then you add a 3, then you take it away, it's 0 again. So every even number is going to be 0. Every odd, if there's an odd number, as there are here, 15, it's just going to be back to 3 again.